The San Antonio Spurs have dominated the series so far, taking a commanding 2-0 lead thanks to a balanced offense and suffocating defense. Now Nate McMillan's banged-up Sonics desperately need a win tonight.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. Hummer. Check out the new H3. Hummer, like nothing else. And Nestle Crunch. Why be plain when you can be crunchy?
Continue in high definition from the great Northwest, Seattle, Washington, here on ESPN. The second game of our NBA playoff doubleheader. Home cooking. The Seattle Supersonics and Ray Allen are hopeful, but it won't be easy against Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs, who lead this series 2 victories to none. So far, the Spurs have been dominant, winning both of the first 2 games in San Antonio by at least 15 points. For Tom Tolbert, I'm Brett Musburger. Welcome. And Tom, I tell you, the Sonics need all the energy they can get here tonight.
Yeah, first I got to say, it must be some sort of cruel joke that they keep putting us on high def. We apologize. Seattle.
Speak for yourself.
I'll tell you what, Seattle's going to have to get up and down. Let the home court energize you. Get into your offense quickly. Do not let the Spurs sit up defensively. And then when you've got to get something in the half court, Rashard Lewis, when he gets double-teamed down that left block, either he has to score or find somebody and let them score. They have to get something out of Rashard Lewis on the block.
All right, Tommy. We're still in high def, folks, as we go to Mark Jones. Jonesy.
Hey, guys, Jerome James, the Seattle center, was breathing fire in the locker room before the game, telling everyone within earshot that, hey, we have been giving San Antonio way too much respect. We can't let Tony Parker get into the lane. We can't wait until the fourth quarter to put him on his button. We have to commit hard fouls, but clean fouls. He said, you can't convince me that San Antonio is a better team than we are. We're deeper and we're more talented. And guys, he's trying to regain the form that made him average 17-9 during the last series. Back to you.
All right, Mark, as we take a look at our Bud Light starting lineups, your point about James and Parker is such a good one. That's what the Lakers and Coach Phil Jackson did to San Antonio in Game 3 in Los Angeles a year ago. And remember, Seattle is in the same situation that the Lakers were in. Trailing San Antonio 2-0 and coming home. Crowd on its feet. Sonics control the opening tap. They want to get off to a good start and keep this crowd right in this game. If they fall down early, it's going to get real quiet in here. Double team Evans, who had only 2 points in Game 2, unable to come up with a field goal, Tom.
You know what's interesting about that play is Tim Duncan ended up guarding Ray Allen on the 3-point shot. Greg Popovich told me, look, we're not going to let him get threes. Our guys will trail. If our big guys have to, they will step out and guard him for a second or two.
There's Ray Allen coming in from that right wing, muscling in and fouled. A break for Ray Allen, as the Sonics have only led in this series for 1 minute and 2 seconds. It was 4-2 on a Ridnour jump shot early on in Game 2. They have trailed every step of the way other than that. And in the first quarter in this series so far, the Spurs have outscored the Sonics by 25 points. So there's the second time that they've been ahead here in the first 3 games as Allen gets an advantage. He has not missed a free throw in this playoff series yet against San Antonio.
Well, they've only won 1 quarter out of 8, and that was quarter number 3 in game number 1 when they were down 27 points at halftime. You know, when you're at home, you want to give your fans a reason to believe. You want to make it loud. You want to get them into it early. For San Antonio, obviously, you want to do the exact opposite.
Here's Duncan attacking from the right wing. 25 points in Game 2, and off to a strong start here again. James on a pick and roll had to track it down. They need the big fella. He played very well against Sacramento, but he has struggled in the first 2 of this series.
Well, he's had trouble getting to his spots. That time, he was able to get his shoulder inside of Nazir Muhammad and get himself 3-4 feet away from the bucket. They've been forcing him to take 7-8-foot jump shots while falling away. 7-foot jump shots, I should say.
Duncan now to the other side, tries to kiss it off the glass. One and out, and look how well the Spurs retreat defensively. Greg Popovich preaches defense over and over. Allen wanted a whistle that time and didn't get it from Bernie Fryer, who's one of our 3 officials tonight.
Well, they're going to retreat to the free throw line. Generally, you want to retreat to the paint and then work your way out. Nice pass by Brent Berry. Underrated playmaker. But when they get back, Brent, they want to retreat not to the bucket, not inside the paint, but to the free throw line and then fan out, because you don't want a team like Seattle, who has 3-point shooters, to be able to hit easy threes in transition.
Tom, as the crowd looks down from that high camera, there's just no lanes there against San Antonio. They've dominated this series defensively. Now, quickly, Seattle must retreat. They must not let Parker get into a transition game here against them tonight. Duncan down on the baseline, just from any spot on the floor. He's so fundamental. Attacking, whistle, fouled. Now you can see the muscle that is being applied to the San Antonio superstar right here, Todd.
Well, you watch Tim Duncan. He's just waiting, and then knows that he has the quickness to get around Jerome James. And you don't want to pick up any silly fouls reaching. And I think Tim Duncan's saying, why am I not on the free throw line? And I think he should be on the free throw line.
Yeah, it looked like he was shooting when he was fouled. Fryer's over at the scorer's table now.
Coach Popovich is asking the same question. Wasn't that a shooting foul?
There's Nate McMillan in the background. Here's Greg Popovich, San Antonio coach, on the other sideline. Both practiced here earlier today. Deflected by Ridnour, who struggled against Parker. Ball is loose on the floor. Seattle's going to scoop it up. Could not convert. Ray Allen deflected back to Ridnour. Now Rashard Lewis steps inside Duncan, and he will be on the free throw line as Brent Berry takes a hard foul.
Oh, that's a great play by Luke Ridnour, sacrificing the body. But the problem is, and it's been this way this series, can't convert the layup, get the offensive rebound, have a chance to score right there, can't get it to go in. They've had 27 offensive rebounds in this series. 18 second chance points. That's an advantage that Seattle has. They can offensive rebound with the best of them. By percentage, the best in the league, so far the best in the playoffs. But you have to take advantage of that advantage. You have to convert second chance opportunities, something they haven't done very well in the first 2 games.
Yeah, Reggie Evans, who missed that gimme coming down the baseline, scored only 1 point in game 2. So it's 6-4. Seattle is up a deuce. 2 team fouls on the Spurs and 1 on the Sonics here in the early going of the opening quarter from Key Arena. Bruce Bowen named again to the all-defensive team, and that raises a story because Ray Allen earlier in this series accused him of dirty play, but as Popovich told us, he was named to the all-defensive team, not the all-dirty defensive team, and Popovich emphasized it.
I don't think they have an all-dirty defensive team, do they?
And Ridnour nails a 3. Someone may need to join the scoring party if they're going to stay competitive. Popovich told us he expected Seattle to respond with much more intensity here in game 3. Parker pops out, and he was doubled. Rashard Lewis cut him off from taking the lane that time, and Bowen is defended hard, and the crowd loves it. I mean, every time an offensive player becomes a villain, you boo him when he touches the ball. What do you do to a defensive player when he becomes the villain in your city? Well, we'll find out tonight.
Oh, what a great defensive series by Seattle that time. Pick and roll, couldn't get to the ball, just keep rotating around, keep scrambling around, force him to put the ball on the ground. And you just see every time a Spur caught the ball, right there. Guy in your face. Great job by Ray Allen getting in there. And then Jerome James cleaning up the mess when he comes in.
Popovich is over talking to Ginobili, Ori, and Nesterovic. And the cut man has been called in for Rashard Lewis.
Dr. Freddie Pacheco here tonight?
He'd seal it up in a hurry.
Yes, he would.
Assistant coach Bob Weiss there over Rashard Lewis's shoulder. One-time head coach in the NBA. Jack Sikma also up back there, one of the stars of the '79 championship here in Seattle. Ridnour as Parker goes flying, and he certainly has not dominated in the first 4 minutes of Game 3. A point of emphasis here tonight. Lewis, and you can see just how he shot it against perfect defense. There was help by Muhammad, and the field goal gives Seattle a 7-0 run and an 11-4 lead. Not unexpected. This is home cooking, NBA style.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN, home of the Western Conference Finals.
We welcome you back to Seattle. And 4 years ago, the man who started Starbucks Coffee, Howard Schultz, paid $200 million to buy the Seattle Supersonic franchise. And here is Howard directly to the right of us. A very avid fan, attends all the games, very animated here on the sideline. Lets the referees know it when he's not putting the Sonics like Ray Allen on the free throw line, and he must deal with a ton of free agents, including Coach Nate McMillan in the offseason.
I guarantee he doesn't drink decaf before the game.
Manu Ginobili has checked in, but Barry stays on the floor. Ginobili usually brings energy to the attack, and after the timeout, it is simply the superstar Tim Duncan rising up and knocking down the field goal.
That shot is going to be there whenever Tim Duncan wants it. Jerome James does not want to go out to 16, 17 feet, because he knows if he does, he can put it on the ground and get around him.
James off a and roll, stuffs it. Did not see that in the first 2 games in San Antonio. He too will be a free agent at the end of the playoffs. Parker tries to get inside and is cut off. Now it's Ginobili looking for a lane. Dishes inside, and the assist as Muhammad able to finish up on the Ginobili pass.
He is so tough to keep in front of you. He puts the head down, wants to go left, but can't go right. Offensive foul on Ray Allen pushing off. Seeing some nice passing early on. Just drop it off to the big fella, lead him so he gets some momentum going, and then see Manu Ginobili going right, forced back to the left, sucks up Jerome James, and there's Nazr Muhammad wide open.
Popovich elects to go with Parker still at the point, leaving Barry out there, checking Ginobili in. Nesterovic now has replaced Nazr Muhammad. Duncan touches again against James. James tightens up on him. Barry's 3. That's the answer in that situation when the big fella's double.
Easy pass for Tim Duncan. That time Jerome James was up on him. They decided to go double team.
Away from the ball. And this is on Ginobili. That's number 1 on Manu. Greg Popovich jokingly said that he is no longer welcome in Argentina, that he had planned a hunting trip, but he thinks he'll call it off. And the story behind that is, of course, when Ginobili went to the bench after Game 1 of the Denver series and became a 6-man, there was outrage in Buenos Aires. And Ridnour hits his second field goal of the game. An awful lot of positive stories early on for Seattle.
Well, if Coach Popovich goes down there now for a hunting trip, he might not be the hunter anymore.
And there's Parker, the first time getting to the glass. No one stopped him. Robert Horry checks in. And the Spurs have 9 points in their last 4 possessions, and now here comes a transition game. Ginobili on a pass from Parker, and this is what the Sonics must avoid against the Spurs, who have deadlocked it at 15.
Well, you've seen it now for the first 6 minutes. You've seen it in every San Antonio Spurs game.
Parker called for the foul.
Guys that try to get to the middle, try to get to the paint, you're usually unsuccessful. And then if you turn the ball over, you have bad court balance, and you end up having a 2-on-1 coming right back at you.
Mark Wunderlich, one of our officials with the call. Antonio Daniels checks into the game. They have used Antonio and Ridnour together. Folks have questioned McMillan as to why he does not replace Ridnour with Daniels, and he told us that for the future of this team, regardless of what happens to him, they need to give Ridnour minutes. Here's James on a pass from Allen.
Well, he's setting good picks. I mean, you set good picks, and you force the big man to come over and double team, so Ray Allen doesn't have a wide open jump shot. Put the head on a swivel, get it around.
Foul is called by Bernie Fryer. Will be out of bounds sideline. And now Jerome James, having picked up number 2, will take a seat. And Nick Collison, who ran some good pick and rolls against San Antonio. In fact, at practice today, they were working on that play. He has checked in and replaced James as Parker up firing. Collison taps it. Sonics to the attack.
A small lineup out there for Seattle. Rashard Lewis playing 4, Nick Collison playing 5. Should be interesting if they can get out and run and speed the game up a little bit more.
Here's Ridnour. I think your alma mater is responsible for that. Lute Olson winning a championship at Arizona with a small lineup. And now we see around the NBA, and it is the reason Popovich told us today that he picked up Glenn Robinson. Phoenix goes small. Dallas goes small. He knew that Seattle would go small here tonight. Now, for the time being, he's going to leave Nesterovic on the floor against Collison and see if he's got any edge there. He wants to take a look at it. Nesterovic is out picking for Ginobili. Back outside to Parker. Battle for the rebound, and there is where size matters. Deadlocked at 17. Lewis's passes to Nick Collison. He's on the free throw line.
Well, that's the 3rd time now. James has rolled to the basket twice and got buckets. Collison rolls to the basket. He's going to get himself 2 shots at the free throw line. And the reason they're getting that is because they are committed to stopping the 3-point shot. If they roll to the bucket, get a couple easy buckets, get themselves to the free throw line, that's okay. They don't want them getting 3 crazy, getting the crowd going.
And fans, for official 2005 playoff merchandise, log on to NBAstore.com, where you can get great Spurs and Sonics playoffs gear. Suit up now for the playoffs at NBAstore.com. Collison puts Seattle back into the lead by 1. 4:14 left in the first. With Mark Jones and Tom Tolbert, I'm Brett Musburger. Game 2, in case you missed it. Miami took a 3-0 advantage on Washington without Shaquille O'Neal tonight. Dwayne Wade was the hero of that game. Offensive foul. Is that what they called on Ginobili coming through? As Ginobili threw that arm out. Take a look at him. Yes, it was.
Wow, that looked like a defensive foul to me. If that arm came out, I'm not sure where it came out. I think they might have thought it was a shooting foul.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they thought. That was a defensive foul, no question. Ginobili, lane open, and one.
He is so good.
Play.
So good getting to the hoop. And just such a great finisher. And you know what he's going to do. You know when he puts the head down, he's going all the way to the rim. Right here, head down, see ya. He's gone. Oh, Rashard Lewis got to step in there. Rashard Lewis is right there for the step in, and then it's kind of bailed out.
Tom, that has been what's plagued Seattle so far. They have just left those gaps, huge gaps, in the defense, and Parker and Ginobili have taken advantage. Collison. Allen up firing. Got the miss back. Bernard kicks to the corner, and here's the three. No. And Ori with an easy rebound.
And once again, you get a second chance opportunity and can't cash it in for points.
So the Spurs, after starting coldly, have picked it up. The Sonics with the lead. Daniels with the left hand. Collison on a strong offensive rebound. Couldn't finish. Well, a reminder that ABC Saturday night, we mentioned Miami taking a 3-0 lead. They'll try to close it out on ABC at 8 p.m. Then on Sunday, Detroit, Indiana game 4 at 3:30 p.m. TNT Sunday will be San Antonio, Seattle, followed by Phoenix, Dallas. Rashard Lewis back in the dressing room, and Danny Fortson, who did not see any playing time in game 2. Well, actually, he did. He saw 7 minutes of playing time. Took only 1 field goal attempt in that game on the floor, and it goes over to the Spurs. Wilkins on the floor for Seattle, along with Collison. Daniels, Fortson, and Allen. Ray Allen stays out there for Nathan Phillips. Parker's gone the distance. Bruce Bowen back on the floor. Nesterovic out there. Ori and Ginobili. That's your Spurs 5. Parker continues to cut, gets inside, loaded Nesterovic, and it was all created by Tony Parker coming down the baseline.
He is so quick. And he is so quick. You said it, Brent. I mean, he just blew by Antonio Daniels, kind of spun him around on the screen, and then got by. Forced Nesterovic got to come over and help.
Collison still can't finish. That's twice underneath that Nick Collison has been unable, and now the Spurs turn it over. We've got a timeout here. 2:24. Popovich expected a strong start for the Supersonics, but check the scoreboard. San Antonio has the lead, 21-19. We are back in Seattle. This is game 3. San Antonio, Tom, shooting 58% here in this game, and Manu Ginobili has really energized this team.
Well, he comes out. He comes into the game both offensively and defensively with tons of energy. And you look through. I haven't seen thorough Big T Bailey's name in quite some time, but Ricky Pierce, of course, the guy that could fill it up with the best of them. He is going to take it to the front of the rim. I know, some people may think, well, is that a flagrant foul? No, that is a hard foul right there. Not dirty, hard, but you have to try and get in front of Manu Ginobili. Right here, you have to get in front of him. If they're going to do that, hey, they're going to do that. I mean, he's going to at least get some penetration, but make sure he doesn't get the easy shots. I still believe that Seattle, to win this game, has got to start getting more in the open court. You got to press the issue, take some chances, get some shots when the defense isn't set. We've seen what happens now when San Antonio is able to set their defense. Seattle shooting 35% for the game, and more is in store if they can't get something going in the open court.
And they do not have a single fast break point to follow up on that. The Spurs on a 17-8 run since Manu came in the game. Wilkins, as the shot clock expired, hit the rim. So it's a fresh start. It's a 2. Daniels misses. They go 0 for 2. Ginobili looking for daylight. Got Udrich on the other side, who has just checked in. And the rookie gives Tony Parker a blow here at the 1:43 mark of the opening quarter. And he has been a good backup at that point. Duncan against Fortson. Now double. They move it around looking for the open man. It's Ginobili's 3, and there it is. They wheel it around to the left corner.
That's the way you do it. Tim Duncan, patient, waiting for the double team. As soon as it comes, you spit it back out, and then you rotate it around. Wide open jump shot in the opposite corner.
Udrich takes Daniels. Picked by Fortson, and it's an illegal one. Danny Fortson picks up the personal foul.
Well, you know that they throw it in there. Danny Fortson can't handle him one-on-one. Boom, boom, ball doesn't touch the ground. Wide open three-point shot. And as a defense, you have to pick your poison. Do you want to let Danny Fortson guard Tim Duncan one-on-one? Or do you want to force him to make a jump shot from the opposite corner? That time they chose the latter, didn't work out.
Ginobili well defended that time. Very good job by Wilkins. Margin 5. We're down to the final minute here of the opening quarter. Seattle being held to less than 20 points by this San Antonio defense. Shooting down in the 30s again. The trademark of the Spurs, why they're one of the favorites now to capture the Larry O'Brien trophy. Duncan's ankle seems fine. Watched him in practice move backwards, forwards, and laterally today. Fortson follows.
Well, they're doing a great job on the offensive glass. That is 7 offensive rebounds in the first quarter.
Ginobili looks for daylight and smacked, and down he goes.
Now that's a flagrant foul.
Now I want you to watch Ginobili's reaction, folks. I saw him crushed by Carmelo Anthony along with Tommy over in Denver. Watch Ginobili's reaction as Fortson takes him down. A professional. He gets up, he shakes it off, and he lives to drive again. He lets the officials sort this out. No histrionics. Steps up to the free throw line. You've got to like this guy. This guy is one tough hombre. He's a gacho. And I want to tell you, this kid has got a lot of character. Does not show any pain, does not wince. And he was crushed.
Well, you know what it is, Brian. I mean, you notice the hand going for the ball. But as a player, if you want to, you can make your momentum go in such a way to where your chest is the opposing player's chest. And if you're as big as Danny Fortson is, you're going to flatten Mario Ginobili. I mean, he did not have, the intent was not there to block that shot. The intent was there to make it look like you were trying to block the shot and knock him on his backside.
Floor is spread for the last 5 seconds here of the opening quarter. Horry's three, deadly come playoff time. Mr. May delivers again at the buzzer. The Spurs, sparked by Manu Ginobili with 16 bench points in the opening quarter. In 8 minutes of play, the Argentinian whiz, 9 points. And the Spurs of San Antonio have an 8-point advantage here in Game 3. They've survived the opening burst by the Sonics.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN, home of the Western Conference Finals.
Well, back in 1979, the Seattle Supersonics won the NBA championship, and Lenny Wilkins was their coach. In attendance here again tonight, along with the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern, who is up there explaining that the officials in this league have a very, very tough job.
You said it. The greatest athletes in the world on 100 miles an hour. Block, charge, flagrant, non, foul, non. It's a tough job, and they get it right most of the time.
Duncan being doubled, and it's turned over. Wilkins bringing some energy to the Sonics, who trail it by 8 and are desperate for some kind of an offensive show here.
Well, Danny Fortson did a nice job that time being physical with Tim Duncan. But you see they're playing the three-point line. They're going to make it drive, and when you drive, there's Tim Duncan. And someone is always there with San Antonio.
Went a long time before the foul was called on Seattle, as Duncan held off 2 Sonics that time with the rebound. Lewis is assessed the personal, his second. So Udrih opens at the point for Popovich. Duncan, one of the bigs, comes out to screen and then takes it. What makes him lethal is you've got to respect him on the outside. And Fortson moved out and picked up another personal. He's going to have a short stay in this game at the rate. 3 fouls on Fortson. And Mark, it is a pleasure watching Ginobili.
Sure is, Brent. You saw him take a hard foul from Danny Fortson a few moments ago. He grew up tough. The youngest of 3 brothers, his 2 older brothers, Leandro and Sebastian, also basketball players. In fact, Sebastian's team just was eliminated from the playoffs in the Argentinian League. And Manu told me before the game that it wasn't a big deal for him to start coming off the bench. He said that I knew that I would still get my minutes, and Pop told him that the team needed him coming off the bench, and he was fine with it. A true professional, like you said, Brent.
And Mark, that turned that series completely around. He really energized the team. Tom, you and I were in Denver. He went for 30 in Game 3, coming off the bench. That's one of the most productive bench games in recent NBA playoff memory. And now Jerome James also saddled with 3 personal fouls. So the bigs in foul trouble as Ori misfires on the turnaround.
I think most players will tell you they don't care if they start or not. They just want to finish.
Ridnour.
That's what they need. Quick hitter. Get it before they set up. Pick and roll. You're open. Shoot the shot. That's when they've been successful.
Back to Barry. Sitting at the perimeter, down to 5 now, and Duncan follows up his own miss.
Well, that was all caused by great position. And he got great position. First shot was only 3 feet away. By the time he shot it, Nick Collison was underneath the bucket trying to rebound it. An easy gimme for Tim Duncan.
Sonics outside at the perimeter. Now off the dribble, Daniels is able to get it into Nick Collison's hands. Antonio Daniels' penetration set it up.
Well, those are the guys who are going to have to score some buckets. Jerome James, Nick Collison, Reggie Evans. Because if they do get penetration, you stated it before, you're going to get company there in black. And when they do, you're going to have to make that pass, and they're going to have to score some buckets.
Glenn Robinson, late pickup by the Spurs on the floor. He's been a solid addition so far. Even playing, would you believe it, some defense. Wilkins goes out of bounds. Let's check Duncan out just moments ago, Tom.
Well, you see the position he's going to get right here. Just kind of lulls him to sleep, sets up, then boom, flashes in. And you see Nick Collison had no chance.
And James and Fortson are barking over there on the sideline. Combined 6 fouls, watching.
Well, unless they're trying to get popcorn, they have no beef.
Here's Parker back on the floor. He'll work alongside Ubrick now. Pick from Duncan. Parker spots. Tony Parker out of France, and he has developed into the best NBA. Cross court to Wilkins, buries the defender. Wilkins off the dribble, takes it in, and Duncan rebounds the miss. The Sonics have missed some easy shots now.
Well, you watch how many open shots San Antonio gets compared to how many open shots Seattle gets. And certainly Tim Duncan has a lot to do with that. Oh, well, that wasn't easy.
Wow.
Or open.
Circus shot by the Wilkins. Wilkins, and a foul on San Antonio. So we'll take a break here at the 8:44 mark. Tony Parker doing it a little quieter tonight, but still he has made his presence felt. San Antonio leading the series 2-0, and the circus shot moments ago by Tony.
Sean Saunders, Tim Legler, and Greg Anthony. Taco Bell update. No Shaq, no problem.
But plenty of Wade, and that's really all they needed tonight. This guy showed you what a dominant player he has become.
And he dominated a team in the Washington Wizards who you thought would bring a little bit more tenacity to the game. It was not there. The Miami Heat looked like the team to beat right now in the Eastern Conference. Well, they should. Up 3-0. They've won 7 consecutive games. And odds are you will not see Shaq in game number 4 as well. Pistons Pacers, of course. Game number 3 tomorrow night right here on ESPN. Brent, back to you.
All right, John, and San Antonio here in Game 3 has built its biggest lead of the night. 35-25 up by 10. Ray Allen is 0 for 5 from the field, and he has missed 3 3-point attempts. Both of his points came at the free throw line in this game. And remember, he has taken on Bruce Bowen, who is his primary one-on-one defender, accusing him of dirty play, and the numbers so far favoring San Antonio. Big Dog Robinson down on the inside defending that time, and he has assessed the personal foul. So Bruce Bowen, one of 2 San Antonio players named to the all-defensive team today. The other, Tim Duncan. It is the second year in a row that Bowen has been named. And for Tim Duncan, it's almost an annual rite of spring that he is selected by the coaches to that team. Young Rashard Lewis on the free throw line. Rounding out that team, Ben Wallace of the Detroit Pistons, Kevin Garnett of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and of course Hughes of the Washington Wizards. And they suffered their 3rd consecutive loss tonight at the hands of Miami, as John Saunders just told you. 35-27, San Antonio up, 8:27 to go, and then the gang will be along here at halftime.
I want to let you know we do have a Vitaly Potapico sighting.
Ah, Potapico. Maybe that'll be the difference.
Not really. Parker just went down the middle of the court.
And Allen back at the other end, still without a field goal tonight. Now 0 for 6. Big Dog Robinson off the transition. Rebound Seattle. Up the floor to Daniels. Spins on Robinson. He cut him off and give him a transition deuce. And here's Rashard Lewis. Rimmed out. Tapped up and in. There is a Potapico sighting.
Does Tim get that one, or does he get that one? I'm not so sure he tipped that one in.
He was the closest man.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll give him.
Well, they might as well have given it to me.
Duncan says, let's make this a little more competitive. Robinson from Purdue picks the dribble up.
Boy, they're really being physical.
And a shot clock violation. Well, the NBA playoffs on ABC continue this weekend with 2 Game 4 matchups. Saturday night, Heat take on the Wizards, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Then on Sunday, the Pacers host Detroit at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, both on ABC. Daniels, Lewis, Ridnour, Allen, and Potapico on the floor for Nate McMillan and the Sonics. Daniels give it on a pick and roll. A beautiful block by Big Dog Robinson. He is playing some D, folks. That's what Popovich said. Popovich also took him aside and said, don't ruin your image. Jokingly, he said that to him. Here comes Bowen up, firing, rims out.
Hey, look at 5 San Antonio Spurs back. Not even a chance to do something in the open court that time.
Going all over Allen, who eludes him with the dribble, and Muhammad in underneath crushes it.
This game's getting chippy. That Rashard Lewis get raked through the face. Ginobili getting cracked twice. Ray Allen getting thrown down to the ground.
The crowd reacting, and Big Dog Robinson. And they want him tossed out. Foul is going to be technical, is assessed on Robinson. Allen shoots the tee. And we're going to show you the original foul and a late push. Keep an eye on Robinson. Now here's Robinson from behind Lewis, and if you're going to do that, don't push him into a referee. Don't ever do that, because Wonderlic said, yes, somebody did crash into
flying in front of my view.
We've got to teach Big Dog away from the referee. You might have gotten away with it. His back was turned. Let's check in with Mark for more on Robinson.
Yeah, Tom and Brent, that little incident aside, Coach Greg Popovich says that Big Dog has been, quote-unquote, remarkable since joining his team a little over a month ago. Said he had no clue that he would also give that kind of effort defensively. And it was demonstrated, actually, guys, after the Game 5 win against Denver. Big Dog stayed in the locker and lifted for 45 minutes. He's really dedicated himself to being a team guy with the Spurs. Back to you.
Well, Mark, Seattle trying to show the toughness. Keep him in. They leave it open for Nazi Muhammad. Where was that Potapico sighting that time?
And Jamil Holloway on him. The handoff to the up back and spun and took it up the middle.
I thought Tommy T was going to jump out there and take Muhammad. Allen up at the other end.
Well, that's as good a look as he's had in this game. And sometimes you get a free throw, even though he did miss a free throw after 45 straight free throws, which is pretty amazing. But sometimes you get a free throw, that'll get you going. You get an open look. We'll see in the next 5.5 minutes if Ray Allen can keep it going.
The defense keeping Parker out at the perimeter. Goes back into Ginobili, who was attacking on the wing in the alley-oop. Ray Allen, and he's hit by Ginobili and knocked down again. On each of the last 2 trips, Ray Allen has gone to the floor.
Oh, now you see it, now you don't. Where is everybody? Oh, that was so pure.
Seattle trying to hang tough in Game 3.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Chevy and American Revolution, supercharged for 2005. And Holiday Inn Express. Come try the new #1 guest-rated showerhead and stay smart.
Well, one of the valuable assistant coaches on the San Antonio sideline is P.J. Carlesimo, who's been the head coach in Portland and then with the Golden State Warriors. And he has talked to a couple of teams already. And, of course, you're well aware of the New York Knickerbocker interest. There's also been interest expressed by Minnesota and apparently Orlando, although P.J. told me there has not been a direct conversation with him regarding that job. Greg Popovich says that he believes P.J. deserves a chance as much as anybody in this league. And, of course, he has tainted a little bit about that incident regarding Latrell Sprewell. And Popovich says, if someone's interested, they should talk to my players. They love this guy on the sideline. He was also a very successful head coach with Seton Hall, and he has so many friends around the basketball world. It would be great to see him come back.
Well, I think if you're going to give the guy that did the choking a second chance, which he deserved, I think PJ deserves a second chance as well.
Point well taken, Tom. You're absolutely right. 39-35 now. Ray Allen with a deep 3 into Parker's hands.
Ray was laughing. He's like, well, maybe that was a little too deep. How about a 28-footer? But what Seattle has done this game, and off Tony Parker, they got the crowd back into the game, which is a good sign for Seattle. 15 free throw attempts by the Supersonics here in the first half. That means they're at least trying to get to the rim, trying to stay aggressive. And if they can keep doing that, get to the free throw line 30 or so times, that'll bode well for them.
Zapico out, screening for Daniels. Staying right with Parker, trying to rub on him. Daniels fadeaway, got it. And credit Potapico with running interference. Now Parker gets in the lane and gets all the way to the glass. Quickly, Ridnour is cut off by Ginobili. Trapped coming down the baseline. Allen one-hands it to Daniels, and here's Ridnour. Inside of 10 on the shot. Coming down and out of bounds. And an opportunity wasted here by Seattle as Daniels looked for a moment like he was going to have daylight from McMillan and get to the rim.
Oh, Ridnour was looking at Potapico, but Potapico was looking at the top of the key. And just for a second, split second, he was open. And then after that, everything just closed up.
Parker's cut off, but Potapico did a good job that time. He comes back outside. Why he's missing that time off the rim.
Well, that's living dangerously going into those screens 17 feet away from the bucket. That's a shot that Tony Parker can easily make.
Duncan is there defensively. Potapico muscles on him, and Tim Duncan showed you why he's on the all-defensive team. Ginobili. Ridnour trying to stay with him, knocks it away out of bounds.
Seattle doing a good job this quarter deflecting balls, knocking balls off Spurs, playing a lot better defense. The hands are more active this quarter than they were in the first quarter.
Bowen looks for the screen. Rashard Lewis got Brent Berry on him. Double with Parker. Lewis comes free, and a foul is going to be called on San Antonio. Jack Nees has got it from the baseline.
Or if you're Tony Parker and you come over for a double team on the baseline, you can't just let Rashard Lewis split you. You have to make sure you close that gap and make him go around you. Parker came over, and then he just split the middle.
Popovich over lobbying Nees right now. Rashard Lewis on the free throw line. Margin is 4. There's the free throw discrepancy this quarter right now, and Popovich will want to get somebody on the line.
Well, the Spurs have only had one player take a free throw. They've only taken 3 free throws this game, and it's been Manu Ginobili 2 for 3. You're talking about a perennial league MVP candidate, Tim Duncan, who's yet to go to the free throw line.
Margins 2 down to the final 3.
And they're being, look how physical. I mean, they are beating him up down there. I've been watching that the last 3 or 4 minutes, and whether it's Potapico, Danny Fortson, Jerome James, I mean, this is bear wrestling down there. I mean, they're doing it every time down the court. They've gotten away with it a few times.
Duncan with Potapico on him. Into the paint. And they put Duncan back on the free throw line. 2:54. Crowd doesn't agree, nor does McMillan. We've got a timeout.
Welcome back. Coming up on the Toyota halftime show, we will look at the Heat again. They didn't have Shaq. It was not a problem.
No, in this game, though, the pace and style definitely not conducive to the Seattle Supersonics. They can't win this kind of physical half-court slugfest. San Antonio's kind of game.
Yeah, the one advantage they do have going for them right now is the fact that Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis are struggling, yet they're still only down 2 points.
You said Ray Lewis. That implies that somebody's getting their butts whipped. Hint, anybody?
We will have that and plenty more coming up on the Toyota halftime show. Right now, back to Brent and Tom.
Back in Seattle. San Antonio shooting better than 54%, holding Seattle at 35%. But Tom, at the free throw line, that's where the difference is.
Well, right now they're plus 12 on the free throw line, and they're getting to the free throw line. 17 free throw attempts to San Antonio's 3 free throw attempts, which is about to be 5 free throw attempts. But they've only made 2 compared to Seattle's 14. They're not getting any fast break points. 4. They're not shooting the ball well, 35%, but they're giving themselves a chance by getting to the free throw line.
Tim Duncan on the free throw line, and amongst those in attendance tonight, Nate McMillan's family. There's his wife, Michelle. Now the young man, Jamel, on her left, and the daughter, Brittany. Both of the children, Brittany there in the middle in the pink, both are players for Nate. And Jamel is a 6-foot point guard on a state high school championship team, about to become a junior. And Jamel there has got a future. A little over 6 foot tall, and some schools are already courting him. And we'll see how that works out. Nate himself went to North Carolina State, as Antonio Daniels, who went to Bowling Green, takes it hard to the rim.
You think maybe Nate's son might be a hard-nosed defender?
I would think. Is already backfiring. Nate McMillan, one of the best defensive players during his time in the NBA. As Tom Tolbert alluded to that. He said it's in the genes, he told us today. Bowen, loses Allen momentarily, but gets help from Tim Duncan. From one all-defensive team player to another. And Parker comes back hard the other way.
That is a great play by Tony Parker. Dribble to your left, and at the last moment, jump back in to the defender. Give him no opportunity to go up and bother the shot.
Going on Allen. And he's assessed the personal foul. The crowd will love this. That's his first personal of the night. And Tony Parker, 10 of his dozen points have come this quarter, Tom, inside of 2 minutes. Potapico is pleasing Nate McMillan as the coach is leaving him on the floor for extended minutes here in the second quarter. And of course, as we told you earlier when we saw that shot, Fortson and James sitting over there each with 3 fouls apiece. So,
wow.
Not like Ray Allen.
I would just go into Duncan every time. I think if you give Tim Duncan the ball, he can draw a foul from Potapico.
Ginobili and Potapico is there. Daniels presses the issue down to 140. Allen's 3, yes. Huge as Antonio Daniels picks him up in transition. Parker's open. Seattle ball again. Looking for a tie or the lead. San Antonio right now keeping him at the perimeter, coming down to 10 seconds. Daniels orchestrating the floor. Up firing with Ginobili on his side. Rebound, Antonio goes down hard and a foul.
Personal foul, number 9, Tony
Parker.
But these are the type of three-pointers right here that you want. Transition, nobody rotates out, wide open. Those looks, though, have been few and far between, not only in this game, but in this series. Once again, Seattle on the free throw line. Antonio Daniels doing a nice job, offensive rebounding, and getting himself a chance to get 2 at the stripe. But I'm still surprised right now, with the crowd going nuts and Seattle's back into it, that Tim Duncan isn't just getting the ball on the block. I think he can score down there, and if he doesn't score the way Potapico is playing him, he is going to get himself a trip to the free throw line.
Antonio Daniels ties the game at 47 with 52 seconds remaining, and the crowd on its feet at the arena. Duncan out high on a pick and roll, gets it back from Barry, up firing on Potapico. Ori's offensive rebound. Back inside to Duncan and 1. Potapico let him get loose, and Potapico got a technical. Came in behind Bernie Fryer, and Bernie was all over him. Potapico has got to use his head better than that. He was begging for the technical. Ray Allen over there with a word. Here is the play.
I'm trying to figure out what he's arguing about. He had him on his back. I mean, karate chopped him. Karate chopped him around the shoulders.
Now the technical. Watch him. He's in his ear. Call it. Call it. That's automatic.
Well, they might not take that from LeBron. They're certainly not going to take it from him.
If Vitaly Potapico's got no shot. Stay tuned for the Toyota Halftime Show with John, Stephen A., Tim, and Greg. They'll get you up to date now on the Shackless Heat as they win again in the NBA All-Defensive Team. You're watching one of the first 5, Tim Duncan on the free throw line. Bruce Bowen, who starts from San Antonio, also made the starting 5. It is back to a 4-point lead. We were deadlocked at 47. We're down to the last 28 seconds.
You got to be careful here. You want to get a good shot off. You don't want to tie the game up, then give up a 3 at the end here and go down 6 or 7 points again after all the hard work to get back into the game.
A foul is called. Udrich and Duncan in on that side. It's on Udrich, and Tony Parker will replace him. Our Chevy game track time. Let's take a look at that right now.
Omar Ginobili came in the first quarter, gives him energy as always, 9 points, shooting the ball well, and it wasn't until late in the second quarter Ray Allen got on track with some free throws and a three-pointer in transition. And as to be expected, the points in the paint, San Antonio dominating in that regard, 32-14. Yeah, I got to think that Greg Popovich is thinking to himself, no, wait a minute. You tell me we got 2 all-defensive guys on our team. We're one of the best defensive teams in the league. And this team's on pace to go to the free throw line 40 times. 40 times against us? Come on.
Final 10 seconds. Parker cut off by Ray Allen. Has Rittenauer on his right. Got him. Nope. No, didn't get it off. Close, but no field goal. But Seattle battling back here in Game 3, trying to hang in this best-of-7 series. Let's check in with Mark Jones.
Tony Parker, 12 points for you in the first half. How have you noticed their adjustment with respect to your penetrations into the paint?
Well, they collapse very well. Everybody's inside. Every time me and Manu touch the ball and penetrate, the bigs do a good job to get in front of us. And they play hard. You know, they play hard tonight. They play very good. They play physical. So we need to match that. We need to match their energy.
How have those physical fouls, those hard fouls that they've taken against you, affected your ability to drive?
But it's not going to stop us. You know, I'm going to keep attacking, and I think Manu is going to do the same thing. You know, we can't be afraid. We're going to go in there, try to get some free throws, and it's good for our team. We don't care if they do hard fouls.
Sounds like a good plan. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
All right, Mark, we are live at the hardwood, and both of the Spurs have bounced off that hardwood. They lead it by 2, 51-49.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Show.
San Antonio is looking to put away Seattle. And boy, if they go up 3-0, they go a long way. Just a 2-point lead, though. Tony Parker with that drive. We're here with the Toyota Halftime Show from Times Square in New York City. John Saunders, Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Stephen A. Smith. And, guys, the good news for Seattle is they shot 34% in the first half. They're only down by a pair.
It is, but I don't like the fact that they're really not getting out in the open court too much. This really has been pretty much a half-court basketball game in San Antonio. If they get into that type of game, their defense ultimately will take over the game that's played at that pace.
Yeah, I agree with you. Plus, you have to factor in the foul trouble of the front line of the Seattle Supersonics and the frustration, the overall frustration with which they're playing. I like the sense of urgency, but you have to have a little bit more control of your emotions.
San Antonio, a stellar defensive team, slows Seattle's offense, gets them to play that methodical brand of basketball, and as a result, they better win tonight because it's the only game they're probably going to win. If they don't win, they're going to get swept. They better win tonight.
All right, it's time now for the Toyota Moving Forward feature. And moving forward, the Miami Heat. The question was, could they move forward without the big guy? Shaquille O'Neal sitting this one out. Alonzo Mourning would start at center, and Alonzo Mourning was terrific.
It really was, especially early on, providing that presence that they needed. He gave them shot blocking, rebounding, even providing a little bit of offense. A lot of minutes. I think he answered a lot of questions tonight about how effective he can be if he plays more minutes.
You see the shot from the outside by Gilbert Arenas, who started to light it up just a little bit later on. But then Dwayne Wade took over. You see the dish down there to Alonzo Mourning. Zoe knocks it down, and then Shaq with a few words for Flash says, take over, and he did.
Well, he did, and he's doing it consistently throughout this series as he's done all season long. This guy is special with a capital S.
And Dwayne Wade was the big reason. Look at this step back. Can you do that?
Did you used to do that back when you were up in Canada?
I mean, I'm telling you, he really stepped back.
I did it in 192 Park in Hollis.
What'd you do? Step back?
Step back.
Or did you lean back?
I lean back.
Antoine Jameson with a three-pointer right there. And Dwayne Wade limping off the court. Udonis Haslem, his back with some problems as well. And then you can see Gilbert Arenas again with a quick drive. He would limp back down the court. But in the end, Too much Wade and help from Udonis Haslem, who knocks down that jumper. A 102-95 victory. They get the win without Shaquille O'Neal. And Dwayne Wade is in some very select company. You're talking about guys averaging in the playoffs 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. Magic Johnson and the Big O, the only guys who have done it if Dwayne Wade can keep this going.
The only thing you think about that graphic, none of those teams ever won a championship. So hopefully in Dwayne Wade case, they'll be able to change that trend.
I agree. The guy especially, he's putting up huge numbers. And he's especially shown that he can take over games when Shaquille O'Neal's not out there. That's why they won tonight. Not only is Shaq out, but now they still have the best player on the floor, and he showed it again tonight.
There's nothing else to add. He's a bad boy. We all know that. He showed it us again tonight.
We didn't talk about Washington.
Well,
I'm trying.
I know you want to. Step up.
Well, it's just unfortunate because you get a lot of optimism about this team because they have so much basketball talent, but they've yet to really develop into basketball players in terms of having an understanding of how the game needs to be played when you are trying to win. Tonight was an opportunity to do that without Shaquille O'Neal, and they fell flat on their face.
Translation. The Washington Wizards did not play very intelligent basketball. It is just that simple. They had numerous opportunities to make this happen, to take advantage of high percentage shots. They didn't do any such thing at all. They didn't exploit Miami's weakness inside. You had Shaquille O'Neal was going, Alonzo Mourning was in. They played well, but still in all,
I like
they
the
did not. I'm trying to be diplomatic, but they did not handle their business.
I feel he's holding back a little bit.
I am holding back. I'll admit it. I'm holding back.
Alonzo Mourning, 14 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 block shots. Not a bad job of substituting for Shaquille O'Neal. And a 3-0 lead, and we all agree, don't expect to see Shaq in Game 4. Ray Allen has been struggling, but his Sonics are down by just 2.
The Toyota Halftime Show is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's moving forward. Welcome back to the Toyota Halftime Show.
Well, Tim Duncan hoping to get a 3-0 lead. He'll do his job defensively as for the 6th year. Tim Duncan is part of the NBA's all-defensive team. Greg, what do you think about that?
I think Tim Duncan could be on everybody's all-defensive team. I'm a little surprised with Kevin Garnett on the first team. Not that he's not a great defensive player, but I didn't think he had one of his better years this year.
I think some of the guys you have to talk about that maybe are omitted here, Marcus Camby, Tayshaun Prince, both of these guys, I think, are definitely guys deserving of being on the first team.
Bruce Bowen's deserving, but I'm still kind of shocked that he's on the team considering how half the league says he's a dirty player.
I told you earlier he does shower.
He does.
Bruce Bowen for the 2nd straight year. We want to remind everybody that tomorrow night we have another doubleheader. The Pistons and the Pacers all knotted at a game apiece, as are the Suns and the Mavericks. That's 7 o'clock and 9:30. Watch it in ESPN HD. Second half coming up as the Spurs look to go up 3-0 on the Sonics.
The Toyota Halftime Show is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's moving forward. Playoffs on ESPN, home of the Western Conference Finals.
A very physical Game 3 in Seattle, with the San Antonio Spurs up 2-0 in this conference semifinal, leading it by 2. With Tom Tobert, I'm Brett Musburger, and nice to have you back here for the second half. Well, push came to shove a couple times in this game, and Seattle at least is trying to fight back in this game.
Oh, they are being extremely physical. I don't know if I'm watching basketball or WWF, because they are getting after it. I mean, guys are going to the hole, and it's no, you don't. You're going to the ground. See Ginobili again. Fortson lays him down. You got Glenn Robinson. That's where it's starting to get a little chippy right there. And I'm not really sure what Lewis did. Then you get Matopico. Matopico and Fortson are kind of like the Road Warriors. Karate chops. Not sure which one's Road Warrior Hawk, which one's Road Warrior Animal. But I do know this. Jerome James, Matopico, and Fortson have 9 fouls in 20 minutes. They are being physical. But big stat right here. The 23 free throw attempts. That is the reason they're only 2 points down.
When we talk about the Bruce Bowen versus Ray Allen story, Allen in this game is only 2 of 10 from the field. Bruce Bowen has picked up only one personal foul. He logged 17 minutes in the first half. That equals the total that he played in Game 2 when he was in constant foul trouble and watched most of the time with 5 personals. So Bruce Bowen has done a splendid job, and Manu Ginobili will not open the second half for San Antonio. He has gone to the deck a couple of times here. So let's see how this unfolds with Parker, Duncan, Berry, Mohammed, and Bowen on the floor for Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs up 2, and Rittenauer chasing Parker over there in the corner. Picks up the personal foul, and that's his first of the night.
Well, 2 things that Coach Popovich has got to be very happy about. They've limited him to 6 assists. They had 10 in Game 1, 12 in Game 2. And they're only 2 for 10 behind the three-point stripe. That was a priority, defend the three-point stripe. They've been able to do that. I'm sure he feels like if they can keep him up the line, they'll be in good shape.
James is back on the floor. Bowen's 2 off the iron, and Evans back. He played limited minutes, only 0 for 2. He's been unable to get his offensive game going for Seattle. It'll be Allen out there with Evans. Allen pulls up on Duncan and nails the jumper. He's now 3 of 11. Parker quickly to the attack. Misfiring into Allen's hands, and Seattle looking for the lead.
Well, it's the type of game they'd like to get involved in right here.
The lead. Ray Allen hits his first 2 attempts of the second half.
Now, I think if you're San Antonio here, Tim Duncan has to get a touchdown on the block.
Berry fires the 3. Yes. It's 54-53 on the Berry 3.
Of course, that'll work too.
McMillan wanted a foul called on Berry. He's trying to stay with Rashard Lewis. Lewis underneath, wraparound, good.
Well, those are the 2 guys that need to step it up. They came out 2 buckets from Ray Allen, bucket from Rashard Lewis.
Duncan's back to the basket. Evans the defender. He'll come to the paint, left hand deflected, turn it over. And Duncan then fouled Evans on the outlet pass.
So you see Bowen gets beat by the pick, and then Duncan's just not long enough to get out there. And right here, you're going to get the pick and roll, and Muhammad can't get up there. Those are 2 pretty tough shots. That's pretty good defense right there. And the other bucket, Rashard Lewis, was able to snake his way to the middle of the defense to get to the rim. Not something you see a lot against San Antonio.
Evans and Duncan barking at each other quietly at this end. Allen misses and into Duncan's hands.
Think about the jump shot as it comes and goes. You get hot for a little bit, make a few jump shots in a row.
Bowen nails the 3, back-to-back 3 balls, and it is 57-55 San Antonio.
If you're Seattle, can you sustain with only the jump shot? Jump shot wasn't there in the first half. Getting to the free throw line was. They come out and hit a couple jump shots.
Trying it again, and they nail another one to tie it. Rashard Lewis. Evans switches out on Parker. He tries to put his speed to work on the big man.
Good defense.
Parker, it's a 2. Lewis rebounds in front of Muhammad. Muhammad has been kept off the glass so far. Rittenauer cut off Berry. Lewis up over Berry. Misfires badly, but it's James. Backs on Muhammad, reaches in, offensive foul. It's number 4 on James. A bit of acting, it looked like, from this vantage point. And James is an easy foul target, so let's take a look.
He ran him over.
Yeah, he did.
He steamrolled him. Hey, that's a big man making that move. Yeah, we make that spin move sometimes.
Oh, Duncan crushes. Coming through the lane. The foul is going to be called against Evans as Duncan schooled him in the lane. He warned him at the other end, Duncan said, "Get off me, young'un."
Can we get the Alliance Sports Bureau to tell us what's the record for players hitting the floor in an NBA playoff game? Because every other trip down the court, someone's hitting the floor.
Duncan is on the free throw line. It's interesting how this game is reflecting the personalities of both coaches. Both tend to be tough, well-respected leaders. McMillan Sonics battling back here at home. Popovich's Spurs not giving an inch. We've got a timeout here at the 8:31 mark of the third quarter. Long night in the office for both coaches.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by the multifunctional element from Honda. Where will it take you? Thank you from Citi. And Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Well, tomorrow, fans, the playoffs continue here on ESPN HD. Kicks off with the Pistons and Pacers Game 3, followed by Game 3 between the Suns and Mavericks. Contact your cable or satellite provider and tell them you want ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD. Popovich still lobbying over there. His ace coming to the free throw line.
Well, the free throw discrepancy in the first half was 23 attempts for Seattle, 6 attempts for San Antonio. So far in the third quarter, it's 2 attempts San Antonio, none Seattle. And we'll see. Sometimes that is a way of evening itself out. It's hard to imagine at the end of the game Seattle will be plus 17 free throw attempts.
And you just saw something that could plague the Spurs. When Duncan misses to start a half, sometimes he does not regain his touch at the free throw line. That is his only vulnerability. Deadlocked at 57. If this becomes a nip and tuck game over the last couple of minutes, you might remember what you just saw here. Barry is on Lewis. To the paint. Has to give it up. And on the turnover with Bowen back to Parker. Parker coming down, and he goes back down to the canvas.
Well, that was all started by Nazr Mohammed. And Rashard Lewis did a nice job at trying to beat Brent Barry off the dribble. Had him beat, and then Nazr Mohammed came over and forced the turnover. You can see right here. Spins, has a good look. There's Nazr right in his face and throws it right to Bruce Bowen, and then the afterburners come into play.
Parker's been the leading scorer for the Spurs. Makes the first. 8:07 to go here in the third. And the Spurs regain a lead, 58-57. Pressure after the successful free throw. Ridnour beats him with the dribble. Allen got help from James. Mohammed picks him up. Double teamed. James in underneath. Loose ball. Jams it in. Jerome James with a strong play.
Everybody concerned with what Ray Allen's doing, and rightfully so. Jerome James is finding himself in the right spot, getting good position, and then making sure he finishes.
Evans with his hands full. And saved by Parker off Allen's foot. Back to Tony Parker. Loses it. Pick up Mohammed. Good. And a whistle.
Larry Moulton Curley on that possession. You're going to see Ray Allen. I mean, everyone's there. Najee Muhammad's coming out. Bruce Bowen's on him. Go back and drive. There's Tim Duncan. And nobody there to pick up Jerome James on the offensive glass.
Reggie Evans, his third personal of the game. For the lead, Najee Muhammad on the free throw line. It is interesting watching the relationship between Popovich and Parker. You would have found Popovich yelling at his point guard, but Tony Parker has matured into such a reliable leader that the relationship is far different. Popovich drove him extremely hard in the first few years in San Antonio. No attempt. The whistle sounded. It's not a lane violation. Bernie Farrell waved that off. He blew the whistle before the shot. That's not a lane violation. Here comes Muhammad. Misfiring into Rashard Lewis's hands. Sonics down a point. Ridnour off a screen is off the iron. A shot he's got to make. Parker keeping it away from Ray Allen. There's Najee Muhammad. Parker cut off, and Allen is back to the defense.
Well, you got to clear out. Got him.
Barry missing the three.
Now, we got a big guy on you. You got to decide, do you want to take the jump shot or try to penetrate and create something for yourself at the rim, or maybe for your teammate? That time, Brent Barry, good enough shooter, thought he had an open look.
Almost halfway through the third quarter, Manu Ginobili is finally up. Ray Allen puts Seattle up by a point, and Ginobili will be checking into the game, and we are wondering if hitting the deck hard twice didn't extract a little bit of a toll on Manu Ginobili in the first half. Duncan's loose.
Now it's just good position. Now it's doing your work before you get the ball. Keeping your defender on your back, left hand out, giving him a target, and all Brent Barry had to do was throw it to the hand.
Screen from James again. Pick and roll. Here comes the big fella flying through. Playing like he did against Sacramento.
I think they can get that when they want it. They're so concerned with the shooters, so concerned with the three-point line, that the big guys, if they make themselves available, they're going to have opportunities.
Parker being kept out of that transition game. Slips in baseline, wraparound, good. Finding another way to score, and it's 64-63 Spurs. Now Lewis slips free. Foul is called with Ginobili. You can see after he was bounced around how tough it's been. And a program reminder, ABC Saturday, Miami, Washington at 8 p.m. Then Detroit, Indiana at 3:30 p.m. on Sunday. TNT Sunday will have San Antonio, Seattle, Phoenix, Dallas. And they'll start their coverage of that doubleheader at 7 after the afternoon game on ABC.
You got to wonder what the Wizards' mindset is. Can't even beat Miami at home without Shaq.
Ridnour taps it. Here's Allen. The pull-up. Yes. Ray Allen heating up here in the second half. It's 65-64.
He's one of those guys, Brent, that when he gets it going, doesn't matter how good defense you play, he can find the littlest crack and exploit it.
8 of his 20 points have come this quarter. Mr. May drains another three. Robert Horry. Allen's got Bowen on his hip from the baseline. Outlet to Ridnour. Ridnour on a runner. Yes. A huge field goal for Luke Ridnour. Deadlocks it at 67. Now Ginobili with Lewis right in his face. Manu Ginobili nails the three ball.
Well, if anybody thought he was gone, he's back.
Ridnour with a two. Najee Muhammad yanks the rebound away.
The Spurs are really pressing the issue offensively. They're getting the ball out, and they are going.
1, 2, and 3 for Nate McMillan, just like he told us in practice, are quickly retreating, not even thinking about rebounds, making sure that Parker does not get into the transition mode. Three of Seattle's players just releasing on every shot attempt defensively. We've got a timeout here, 3:59 to go in the third. It's 70-67 San Antonio.
You're watching the 2005 NBA playoffs on ESPN.
And welcome back, everyone, to Key Arena in Seattle. The Spurs with a 3-point lead, 70-67 here in the third quarter. I'm with the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern. David, want to ask you, first of all, just recently you said that you were optimistic about a labor deal getting done soon. Is there any timetable, and how do you feel about that?
I think I'm getting ready to downgrade my optimism to hopeful. We've been doing this for quite a while, and we just don't seem to be able to move the ball.
What's it going to take? Or what might the issues be at this point?
You know, we're going to have to get a lot of players and a lot of owners in a room and see whether we can make the final trades that are necessary to make a deal, because if not, we would wind up heading to a bad place.
What exactly has changed between the time that you thought it would be optimistic to now?
Well, we know where the other side is. We've tried to make some trades, and suffice it to say, the parties are not able to bridge the gap.
How hurtful would a lockout situation be at this stage?
Very.
Tonight's game, very physical. Has the competition committee at any time thought about making rules changes to motivate the trend in the league right now towards high scoring and open court play?
Well, they have. They did away with the illegal defensive guidelines so that you didn't have isolation plays. They changed the over half court to 8 seconds, and they generally have been proactive in that regard.
Do you expect any more changes in the future?
I don't know. I think we liked the game the last couple of seasons.
A lot of talk, David, about the internationalization of the NBA. You've talked about teams perhaps going over there for training camps. What's the next phase beyond that?
Well, let's get through 2006, 2007, sending 4 teams each year, and then let's get ready for the Olympics in Beijing, and then we'll go from there.
What are your thoughts on the Miami Heat winning tonight? You saw them play. You were in Miami on Tuesday. They won tonight without the big fella, Shaq.
Yeah, I didn't see the box score, but I'm sure Zoe got a lot of minutes. They're pretty well backed up.
So many great stories. Thanks a lot for joining us, and get home sometime, would you?
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Pass back to you.
All right, Mark. Evans, and Seattle leads at 71-70 with 2:57 to go in the third quarter. The screen for Parker. 6 on the shot. Parker tries to split the D. Collison there. And a foul called on Seattle.
Well, Seattle's been getting out and going. Ray Allen, a nice job of adjusting. Defense comes over, finds Nick Collison, and on that play, Ginobili just airballed the ball on the defensive end. Or on the offensive end, hit nothing but glass, and that led to a fast break. See Coach Popovich over there pointing to his head, telling Manu Ginobili, be smarter. Team's on a run. Make sure to run a little bit clock.
Reggie Evans sits with his 4th foul for Seattle. We've had overall 11 lead changes this quarter. Parker goes 0 for 2 at the line. Free throw problems. A little bit of an issue here with San Antonio. Daniels is reported as a foul on Fortson. Yeah. Doesn't take him long.
You can't move when you set a pick. I mean, you just can't do it. You got to be still. And I know as a big guy, you want to get your shooters open. You want to help out, and you feel like if you miss them, you've not done your job. But you can't move and hit guys. And referee Jack East right there and saw that.
Picking up his 4th. James with 4. Evans with 4. Both of them are sitting. So Fortson will try Duncan. Looks like the illegal D. And Nate McMillan is upset with this call. Ginobili will shoot after the technical is called. And Ginobili makes the free throw. Bowen will take the ball out of bounds. Seattle's been unable to get to the free throw line this quarter. Udrich with a nice pass, but they couldn't finish.
You got to realize right now, just San Antonio, they're going to try to get the ball to Ray Allen somehow.
Muscling his way as Fortson for the deuce.
Nice move by the big fella. And I do mean big.
Fortson goes down. Duncan muscles his way in. McMillan wants a foul. Now Daniels breaking away, collides with Ori, and a foul is called. But Nate McMillan exploded on the non-call against Duncan as Daniels is shaken up, and he's on the floor. We'll take a break and come right back. Nate McMillan very upset about the non-call against Duncan. Meanwhile, Ori apologized to Daniels, who went down hard. Take a look at this.
There you can see battling, and he shoves him out of the way. If you're Nate McMillan, you're going to be upset. I mean, you got guys down there battling Tim Duncan and trying to get position. And Tim Duncan shoves him out of the way. That's a call that I think if you're Nate McMillan, you'd say, no, wait a minute, if that happened the other way, you know you'd call that on Danny Fortson.
Ray Allen pulls up. Duncan rebound. 73-71. Seattle leads it by 2. Robert Ori sets for the 3, and Mr. May delivers his third 3-ball of the night. 74-73 on the Ori 3.
They just defrost him around mid-April, don't they?
They do.
Good find.
Collison bumps Duncan. Jump hook's good. Nick Collison regains the lead for Seattle. Now Ginobili on the drive. Rebound Duncan, and Collison fouling. Or was it Fortson? One of the two underneath. Fortson very unhappy.
Well, Ginobili had Collison on him, so he does a smart thing, gets to the hole. And the reason that offensive rebound is available is because Danny Fortson has to come over and help on the drive. And you see Collison clearly got him on the wrist. But, you know, you have mismatches. If you can get to the rim, even if you don't make the shot, you're going to give your team offensive rebounding opportunities.
Here we go. I told you that sometimes Duncan can get into a free throw shooting funk. And it depends on the first one he shoots in a half. One of the stablest of athletes in the NBA has this little bit of an Achilles heel, and he has missed all 3 this quarter.
You see during the regular season, 67%, up 8%. In the playoffs, but you're right, Brent. He will go through these stretches sometimes where he can go 1 for 7, 1 for 6.
Nails that one to tie it at 75.
Well, that time he was up on the toes in full extension. Sometimes he won't get all the way up on the toes, and sometimes the arm won't be fully extended, and that's usually when the ball comes up short.
Are offset. Daniels attacks Duncan. Lewis didn't get a clean catch. And there's a violation.
24 seconds, shot clock violation.
Out of bounds sideline. Last shot time with plenty of time for them. 4.1. Bowen will take it out. Ori is there. Duncan is there. Ginobili and Udrih. Here's Udrih, a left-handed runner with time on the clock. Inexperience and not realizing there was time to give it up. 13 lead changes in the third quarter. The playoffs are well underway. It's game 3, and Seattle desperately needs a win, having lost the first 2 in Texas. The money quarter is coming up.
Playoffs on ESPN, home of the Western Conference Finals.
A very physical game unfolding here in Seattle. Through 3, tied 75 all, San Antonio and the Supersonics. And Mark Jones, we've had our first victim, right?
They can use at this point, Brent. They're going to need all the big bodies they can use. Reggie Evans still in the Sonics locker room. The result of what Seattle officials tell me is a back contusion. Now, earlier they told me that he would come back into the game. He has been downgraded since to questionable. He's got ice on it in the locker room, Brent. Back to you.
All right, Mark, and Antonio Daniels wraps it around to open the fourth quarter to give Seattle a lead. Udrih left alone for the 3, rattles out. Loose. And Duncan comes up with it.
We'll see here in the fourth quarter, a team that's been there before, won championships, won big games on the road. They know what they have to do. They've been here before, and if they need buckets, what do they have? They have Tony Parker pick and rolls when he's in the game. Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan down on the block, with Ray Allen out right now for the Supersonics, who had 8 points and 4 assists, had a great third quarter. Where do they go now when they need buckets? Where are they going to go in the half court right now to get buckets? In San Antonio, this will be their 12th and 13th free throw attempt in the second half. Seattle, yet to shoot a free throw.
And tomorrow night, the NBA playoffs on ESPN continue with a para-conference semifinal. Game 3 is first at 7. Detroit and Indiana. They're even at a victory apiece. Then at 9:30, Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns will take on Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. They too even at a game apiece. And Tim Duncan is back with 3 in a row now. We've got our 13th deadlock of the game. Daniels as Collison screens Ginobili. Lewis open on Ori. Collison trying to battle Duncan. San Antonio ball.
Well, the next Richard Lewis three-pointer will be his first of the series.
Berry lost it. Daniels. Ginobili's back. Ori's back. They do not give him a transition hoop. Kick to the corner now. Lewis. Jump to Collison. Deflected. Udrih. Loose ball. San Antonio.
I can't imagine it's going to be too much longer if you see Ray Allen get up off that bench.
Here's Duncan back. Hits Ori on a cut. Back out.
That's a nice play by Robert Ori, not running over anybody.
Duncan is fouled. Collison tried to defend the bigger man. Here's Ray Allen.
Well, he was very good in the third quarter. Not only was he scoring 8 points in the quarter, he was also passing the ball. You can see right there. Now, this must have been the first half. He wasn't shooting very well. Just take my word for it. He had 8 points. He had 4 assists. He was shooting the ball well, and then he started passing, and now he's back in the game.
And as soon as he appears, Bruce Bowen steps up from Popovich's bench, and at this opportunity, he'll be checking in. The Ray Allen defender is back. Ginobili sits. An interesting lineup adjustment here by Popovich with 10:26 to go in the fourth. He'll leave Udrih out on the floor. Tony Parker continues to sit. Bowen is back specifically to take on Ray Allen, and he's waiting for him right now.
Well, everybody that's involved in a Ray Allen pick has got to be ready to slip it. Because not only is Bowen going to trail him, but if he's beat, the big guy's going to have to help. Nice play by Robert Horry.
Horry's made a couple of fine defensive plays.
Well, this is where you go into Tim Duncan against the second-year man and Nick Collison and let him go to work.
Which he does. Coming baseline, fouled again by Collison. And Collison warned about slamming the ball down after the foul call. That's number 3.
Well, I don't know if it was that Brent or that he kind of underhanded the ball to Mark Wonderlich and hit him in the side of the head. He went over and said, both of them. That wasn't, I'm sorry, you okay? I'm sorry.
Jerome James up for Nate McMillan. 3 team fouls already against the Sonics and none against the Spurs here in the fourth quarter. Knocks that one down, and the Spurs are up 2.
Remember we said Seattle was plus 17 on the free throw line, and they have a way of evening out. Well, San Antonio is now plus 1 at the free throw line.
Daniels, he's on the line for the Sonics. The Seattle team did not shoot a single free throw in the third quarter after shooting 23 in the first half. And here in the fourth quarter, Antonio Daniels with 2. He'll step up and attempt to tie the game.
All right, San Antonio's now minus 1 again. That's the one thing that Seattle is a good free throw shooting team. When they get to the free throw line, they got guys who can shoot 80%. San Antonio, a better free throw shooting team. You see the numbers right there, getting to the line 24 times, only converting 15, whereas Seattle has gone 24 times, now make it 25, converted 21, 84% clip. But they're a better free throw shooting team now with Udrich and with Brent Berry and with Ginobili than they have been in the past.
Nazir Muhammad up on the sideline for San Antonio. Duncan puts it down on James. Loose ball, goes for it. Jump ball.
Ray Allen was just waiting for him. He was waiting for him to spin. He had that scoped out. And then get sidelines on the ball and got in there and knocked it away. Now, for San Antonio, and you win this tip, you only have 5 seconds to get a shot off. More than enough time if you're cognizant of the fact you only have 5 on the shot clock.
Tap controlled by Udrich, up firing, missed it. Now Seattle's turn to go for the lead. Bowen is all over Ray Allen. Ooh, and a tough pick by James, but he missed the shot.
Well, that may be about as clean a look as he's going to get from beyond the three-point stripe.
James is on Duncan. It's a clear out. Duncan comes through the paint, hits the running field goal to put San Antonio up.
Now it's good defense. I mean, not only did he keep away from the bucket, he got to within about 5-6 feet, but he ended up shooting it from the other side of the bucket, going away from the rim. That was just a heck of a shot.
James on a pick and roll, slams it home. It is hard to believe, but this young man did not play high school basketball. He picked it up at Florida A&M. And like the little girl with the curl, when he's good, he's very, very good.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Coors Light, the coldest tasting beer in the world, and Nissan, who reminds you to ship the way you move through the world.
8:34 left in regulation. Spurs 81, Sonics 81. And Tom Tolbert, what about our cooler talk here tonight? Brought to you by Gatorade.
A lot of guys hitting the floor. A lot of guys being physical. Jerome James told Mark Jones before the game, hey, people may be hitting the floor tonight. And he was very prophetic because there were a lot of guys hitting the floor tonight. And give it to Seattle. That was my favorite, the karate chop, like Hong Kong Fooey. Hey-ya! Great, that was a sweet play right there by Luke Ridnour. But hey, you're down 2-0. You're at home. You are going to battle, and they showed up. Stark comparison, Manu Ginobili started off strong, 9 points in the first quarter, at 4 cents. And Ray Allen has certainly picked it up. Although, you know, if you're San Antonio, he does have the 20 points, the 7 assists, but you're going to live every single game with the 6 for 18 from the field and 1 for 7 from three-point land still. This is one of the better three-point shooting teams in the league. They are now 6 for 38 in this series from beyond the stripe.
Jerome James is having the game of his life in this series. That's his first free throw. He's already 6 of 6 from the field. He has now exceeded his point total in the first 2 games tonight with 13 as Ginobili comes right back at you. And it's 83-82 on Manu's field goal.
Well, this is the lineup you're going to have to be right here for San Antonio. Parker at the point, Ginobili, Duncan, going out there, hounding Ray Allen.
Allen trying to get it on Duncan. Got it back. Fade away, short. This time Duncan clears. And Ori fouled by Rashard Lewis, who jumps out on him. So Jerome James, who has struggled mightily in the first 2 games, perfect from the field here tonight. He's playing with 4 personal fouls. That's the one negative about his game with 7:48 remaining here in regulation. Parker puts it down on Daniels. Kick out to Duncan. Duncan wide open with James flying, and he missed.
That hit the rim?
I don't think so. I think it was right off the glass. Now Daniels fades away.
Oh, they picked up the weak side defense that time, rotated in, and did not let Jerome James get a clean look or clean pass to the basket like he has so often tonight on the pick and roll.
Ginobili kick back to Ori. Ori going for his 4th 3. Missed that time. Knocked away. Ginobili's got it. Tony Parker slips while dribbling. Brings it back out with 8 on the shot. Gets inside Rashard Lewis. James blocks it. Beautiful defensive play for Jerome James. Daniels puts it down hard on Duncan. Fortunately for him, Lewis was trailing back there and open.
Antonio Daniels got Tim Duncan on him in the corner. They can't find a way to get him the ball.
5 on the shot. Double team on Allen. Back outside, 1 on the shot, got it off. No, off the iron.
That was a really bad possession. You had Rashard Lewis guarded by Tony Parker. You had Antonio Daniels guarded by Tim Duncan. You had 2 mismatches and couldn't find either one of them.
Spurs up a point. 6 minutes regulation. Duncan back outside again, makes it a 3-point lead. And Mark, Tim Duncan time here in Seattle.
It certainly is, Brent. The offense is not emotional, but before that last basket that he made, Popovich wanted to sub Muhammad in for him. After he made the basket, Duncan looked at his coach and said, no way, I'm staying in this game. Muhammad sat back down. Back to you, Brent.
Yeah, Mark, 8 of his 22 points this quarter as we take a break here with 5:49 left in regulation. 85-82. The Spurs have built a 3-point lead behind Duncan.
John Saunders back here in New York with the Sprite plays of the night.
Way, tough shot, got it to go! Oh, what a shot! 2-hand jam! You got it!
Log on to ESPN.com to find out if any of tonight's plays make it into the Sprite plays of the night. Keyword Sprite. Brent, back to you.
All right, John, thank you very much. 5:49 left in regulation. The Spurs 85, the Sonics 82. 3 minutes between timeouts. Ray Allen was held scoreless by Bruce Owen in that flurry. Tim Duncan, meanwhile, picked up a field goal, and Manu Ginobili added one. So it's a time when the big fellas step up, and Ray Allen has been stuck on 20 for a while against Bowen.
Well, you know what I find, pretty interesting is they didn't want to let Rashard Lewis and Ray Allen beat them. They haven't. They're 9 for 29. Now, the guys that are working it are James Potapenko, Collison, and Fortson, who are combined 12 for 15 for 27 points.
Lewis fires the three, short. Bowen into rebound. Here they come. Spurs trying to build a lead. The Sonics have missed 12 of their last 13 three-ball attempts. As soon as we finish, we'll take you to ESPN Sports Center. Duncan wide open. Missed again. Back into Allen's hands, and Bowen is there defensively. He'll put it down and attack on the drive, and Duncan holds him up as he was losing his balance. And Bruce Bowen with that look on his face, indicating that he was not muscling Ray Allen out of control that time. We'll take a look.
That's the NBA look, Brent. I didn't do it. No one's ever committed a foul.
James out the screen on a pick and roll. Here he comes. It is the play of the night if you're a Seattle fan.
Look at this. That has been there all night. That's something they can go with. I think they have to get him involved in pick and rolls because they are not respecting the roller on that. That makes James 7 for 7 in this game. They have to do that. Maybe force the weak side defense to collapse on James. Then they'll get some open looks on the weak side.
Ginobili attacks. The runner's not there. Lewis with the rebound, and the Sonics can take the lead. Daniels attacks Duncan on the run. Parker. Sonics back with 3 men. Parker looking for transition. Scores a tough field goal getting to the right baseline.
You got to try to make any. You got to try to make him go left. He's so quick, easier said than done. But when he gets right in that paint, he is a really good finisher. Those little floaters and teardrops.
Duncan's got James again on that pick and roll. Allen looked for James, threw it to Parker. Parker is saddled by Daniels. And they'll let him shoot a pair of free throws here on that foul.
Well, he's all over Ray Allen right here. And you're going to watch at the very end. Ray tries to jump back into him. Ray tries to jump back into him, but there's nobody there. Bruce Bowen moved and caused the turnover. And nice job by Bruce Bowen understanding what Ray Allen was trying to do, trying to earn himself a trip to the free throw line, but Bruce Bowen wasn't biting.
5 fouls on the Sonics. And another one coming for Parker. It is interesting that despite the problems with Jerome James, Greg Popovich is sticking with Duncan defensively against him. And Parker misses both free throws. Sonics basketball, trailing by 3. Tony Parker at the free throw line is 2 for 6.
Well, for a guy that can shoot as well as he does, you shouldn't be shooting 67, 68% from the free throw line. I like this. Get Jerome James in the pick and roll.
That time, Duncan sloughed. Rittenauer pulls up the J. It's into Barry's hands.
This is what they do to you. They get you in a fourth quarter game.
They turn it back over now. And Ginobili jumps out and fouls Daniels.
Personal foul is on number 20, Manu Ginobili.
Well, a reminder, folks, to tune in and catch the best women's basketball. WNBA season tip-offs on ABC. The Los Angeles Sparks travel to Seattle to take on Sue Bird, the defending champion Seattle Storm. on May 21st at 4 p.m. on ABC.
It looks like Rashard Lewis may have turned an ankle.
So Rashard getting some medical attention on that sideline. Reggie Evans has been lost.
What I was about to say, Brent, was this is what San Antonio does to you. They get you into the fourth quarter, and they just stifle you. They don't let you score. They don't let you get to the guys you want to get it to. You see Rashard Lewis, no points this quarter. Ray Allen, no points this quarter. And I'm not sure if he came down on, he wasn't grabbing the ankle, it was more grabbing his toes.
With 3:34 to go, the Spurs lead is 1. The Sonics are shorthanded for the moment, and Ray Allen fouls Ginobili. Reggie Evans back in the locker room. Rashard Lewis is out. Radmanovich has already been lost for the series with an ankle injury.
And it hurts you right here at the end of the game because instead of bringing in Nick Collison with this lineup and Robert Horry playing the power forward for the Spurs, you could easily bring in Vladimir Radmanovich. Boy, they can't make a free throw. You could bring in Radmanovich and he could play, he could match up against Robert Horry, giving him another guy to stretch the court. And you wonder what he means to his team. They're 47-22 with Vladimir Radmanovich, 9-11 without him.
Popovich goes offense, defense. Bowen replaces Berry to pick up Ray Allen. Lead is 2 with 3:20 to go in regulation. James out to pick on Bowen. Frees Allen, misses the 3. Parker's got it. Wide open 3 look for Ray Allen that time.
Well, they're setting the pickup well beyond the 3-point stripe. Therefore, Tim Duncan, if he wants to come out effective, he'd have to come way out.
Parker misses on the drive. Duncan, and it could not hold up in time. Sends Daniels to the canvas. We're going to take a break. Inside of 3 minutes. 88-86. The Spurs also are over the limit. Tom Tolbert, Ray Allen hasn't scored since the 6:32 mark of the third quarter, but Jerome James is doing his best to keep them in the game.
Well, he's just setting good, solid picks and rolling right down the middle. You're going to see these are easy buckets for the big fella, and he's just smashing them on people. 1, 2. That was an offensive rebound for 3. Stay out of the way. 4. 5. And how about one more, big fella? Nicely done. I would like him 15 points. Hasn't missed a field goal attempt. I'd like to see the rebounds a little bit higher than 3, but I'd like him in a high pick and roll with Ray Allen.
Mark, what's the situation with Rashard Lewis?
Well, Seattle officials are telling me that he has suffered a hyperextended big toe on his left foot. During the last time out, Brenny was walking around trying to get it loose. The trainer recently put some spray on it. They're hopeful that he should be able to return to the game. Back to you, Brent.
Only 3 of 10 tonight. Ray Allen 6 of 21. And Antonio Daniels off the bench. He has 15 points. They now make it 16 as Antonio Daniels deadlocks the game. James and Daniels have all the Sonic points this quarter. Robert Horry, no, missed his last 2. Battled Ginobili, taps it to Daniels.
Gotta go, he got numbers.
Ridnour in low to Collison, blocked. Duncan stayed with it. Nick Collison puts the Sonics up by 2, 2:28.
I'd imagine see Tim Duncan over on the left block somewhere.
He'll be out high to screen on Allen. Pick and roll. Nice. Duncan's got it on the run. And he is fouled. And James picked up number 5.
And that was a smart foul. Instead of letting him go in and lay it up, get an easy 2. Make sure you send him to the free throw line where he's been struggling this half and make him earn those 2.
So here's Here's Tim Duncan on the free throw line. He's 8 of 13 here tonight. Now 8 of 14. As a team, the Spurs are not shooting 50% this half. They are 10 of 22. Make it 11 of 23. SportsCenter's coming up. They'll have all the highlights. Stuart and Steve will be up. They'll tell you about Miami's win without Shaq. Jerome James to screen. Ginobili goes down, and that's going to be a foul. It's on Ginobili. Ginobili can't believe it. He cannot believe it.
We're going to see James up top setting the pick and roll. And I think it was the body right there. It was the body right there, and I'm not sure where he got hit in the face.
It looked like Maradona going down in midfield, folks. That looked like your classic flop. As you saw the replay, it has been a tough, tough night on the hardwood for Ginobili. It's much softer when you flop in soccer. Inside of 2 minutes, Parker brings it up. Seattle desperate for a win. Duncan screens. Ginobili tries to squeeze through. Now they're going to sort this out. Remember, James is playing with 5.
The foul is on number 13.
Still didn't say
That's going to be
there.
number 6. They've just made the announcement. That's going to be it on Jerome James. The biggest weapon of the night for the Supersonics has been lost. 7 of 7 from the field.
I see Ginobili. This is a tough pick and roll to get. Yeah, Jerome James grabbed him by the nose as he was turning the corner. But a tough angle for a pick and roll. Down on the baseline, you got to make sure you keep tabs on Duncan. And Ginobili splits. The one thing you can't have happen though. You can't let someone split your trap, but give Ginobili credit for drawing the foul. Potapenko coming in, taking Jerome James' place.
So Vitaly Potapenko checks in. Ginobili on the free throw line. The Spurs trailing it by 3. And the free throw problems continue to plague San Antonio here in the second half. Making it a 2-point game with 1:45 left. Both teams are over the limit as far as fouls are concerned. Potapenko out for that high pick.
Well, you know, everybody's eyes are on Ray Allen. Can somebody else other than Ray Allen step up and make a big play?
Daniels is open, missed it, and into Bowen's hands. Now San Antonio looking for the tie or the lead.
Well, you got to get the ball to Tim Duncan this possession. I'd still think Potapenko guarded it.
He ships to Ginobili. Then he screens. Tied to Duncan down low on Potapenko off the side of the glass. Bowen against Ray Allen. Mano a mano. 10 on the shot. Potapenko to help. Allen keeps it. Duncan picks him up. Stays with him defensively. with 3 on the shot. Out of bounds, a terrific block. Watch this play by number 21 on the all-defensive team. And then off Bruce Bowen and out of bounds. So we'll take a break. Inside of a minute to play, the Sonics are up 2.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN, home of the Western Conference Finals.
With Tom Tolbert and Mark Jones, I'm Brent Musburger. 44 seconds to go. San Antonio just got a huge break. They have the basketball. Even though, as you look at the replay, down by the end, you will see it come off Bowen's arm. Patapico taps it. It's off Bowen's arm. Out of bounds. Officials did not see it. We have the advantage of slow motion. Ball goes over to the Spurs sideline. 44.8 left. 92-90. Sonics up a deuce. Here's Ginobili with Daniels on him. Ginobili going to attack, kick Berry to spot 3 off the iron. Ginobili offensive rebound. Back to Berry, out to Ori. Fires the 3. No, off iron. Berry will go for it. And down is Ginobili and Daniels collided. And the foul is on Daniels.
Well, the energy of Ginobili that time. Almost drawing a foul to begin with, then getting the offensive rebound, and then getting after another offensive rebound and drawing a foul on Antonio Daniels.
Ginobili steps to the free throw line as the Spurs have missed 5 free throws in the last 3.5 minutes and make it 6. They cannot tie it on this trip unless he misses again, and there's a rebound. Collison and Patapico will block out. Ginobili hits it and makes it a 1. Timeout call, McMillan. 29.3 left. The clocks are offset. Just enough to ensure San Antonio at least 1 possession, depending on what McMillan and the Sonics decide to do here with a 1-point lead. Remember that Ray Allen has not scored this quarter. Michelle McMillan watching nervously from the stands here tonight with her 2 children. Meanwhile, Nate and the Brain Trust trying to come up with the play here as the Sonics, having lost the first 2 in San Antonio, are desperate for a win here tonight. Dallas battled through in Phoenix to even that series, with that show now moving down to the heart of Texas in Big D.
Well, I think, Brent, it's got to be something, or it's going to be something involving Ray Allen, and more than likely a pick and roll situation. Now, knowing that San Antonio is going to get the ball back with at least 5 seconds left, you don't want to put yourself in a position to wait until the last 5 seconds of the shot clock to get up a shot. A lot of times you get off a terrible shot. You know they're going to get a shot, so it's okay to work early in the clock if you can find something early, because as soon as San Antonio gets that ball, they're probably going to call a timeout, advance it to half court, and have more than enough time to get up a shot. But it wouldn't surprise me here to see Ray Allen get the ball and run a pick and roll with Patapico or Collison.
Daniels will take the ball out of bounds. Allen has missed his last 6. Now Jack Nees steps in, and Allen getting at it here with Bowen. Words are being exchanged. Bowen tells him to shut up. Now Nees again steps in. Daniels will take it out of bounds. Sonics will break Allen out of the stack. Here comes Collison to help out. Puts it back into Daniels' hands. Ginobili will defend him. They're taking seconds off the shot clock. Bowen is out on Allen, who could not get the call. Now down to 10. Mano again. Patapico to screen on Bowen. Switches other side. Bruce stays right with him. 4 on the shot. 3 on the shot. Allen, tough shot. At the buzzer, can't get the bounce. And San Antonio's got it with 2.9. 92-91, and Bruce Bowen gave us an unbelievable example of man-to-man defense that time as he stuck with Ray Allen, who is scoreless this quarter, in there with Duncan, right all over the fadeaway. Robert Horry, who has come up big in so many ways. Michelle, and not believe what just unfolded with 2.9 seconds to go in what has been a tough, excellent NBA playoff.
Oh, it's been a great game. And it's been a game you expected San Antonio to come out and play with a lot of passion, being down 2-0. It's a team that has a lot of pride. I don't like... We've said it before. You wait until the shot clock runs down. You end up forcing a bad shot. Now, the good thing is there's only 2.9 seconds left, but you can still get San Antonio 2 bounces. You can even set a quick pick and roll, which I would expect they'll do. Get the ball to Tony Parker or Manu Ginobili. Maybe have Duncan step up or let them go one-on-one and get to the bucket. But you know San Antonio is going to get a shot. Work a little earlier in the shot clock there and get yourself a better shot.
One more time. Watch Bruce Bowen. And the jawing continues. Some of it even profane. 92-91. Seattle clinging to a 1-point lead. Ginobili will take it out. That makes him very dangerous. Parker's out on top. Patapico will try to take Duncan away if he can. Ginobili looking first at Duncan. Got him. 2.5. Put it up. No. Seattle wins it. The Supersonics survive. Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs. Will this be deja vu all over again? A year ago, San Antonio went 2 up on Los Angeles, went to LA and lost game 3 to the Lakers. The Lakers evened it in game 4 and they've closed the Spurs out. And the owner is the happiest man in the building. Let's go to Mark Jones. Mark.
Jerome, how big was this win tonight?
Very big. You know, first I want to thank God for the win. Thank God for nobody getting hurt tonight. And secondly, I mean, it was gut check time. You know, all the talking, all the back and forth. No more talking. It's time for action. Tonight we came out and put the action down.
You told me before the game bodies were going to be on the court. How did you balance aggression with keeping your poise?
We just wanted to protect our paint. 2 games in a row, those guys just ran in there and did whatever they wanted to do in our paint. And we can't have that. And tonight the message was, before the game, they come in the paint, they're going to pay for it.
You told me that you guys as a team were giving them too much respect. You still believe that?
I don't give them no respect. None.
Brent?
Nobody was injured tonight. If you don't consider the fact that Reggie Evans spent much of the second half of the locker room injured. Rashard Lewis missed the last 5 minutes on the sideline, injured. Manu Ginobili playing with a bad back, and Nazir Mohammed did not see action, apparently because he was beaten up. No Jerome James, no injuries tonight, big fella. Easy to say when you go 275. Seattle 92, San Antonio 91. From Mark and Tom and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Brent. Good night from Seattle. Aren't the playoffs great?